It's Naija Superfans Forum, and I'll welcome you. My name is Olúwafẹ́mi Aṣáolú. Let's quickly give you a sneak peek into what we'll be discussing on the show today. Of course, the countdown to the 2025 World Cup will soon get started right here on Naija Superfans Forum. But today on the show, it's a full menu. Of course, we'll be talking about the Nigeria Football Federation. The former NFF president, Amaju Pinnick, has handed over to the new president, Ibrahim Gusau, and he actually told Gusau something at the handing over in Abuja this week. He said Gusau should try to seek third time in office, and that has already thrown up debate in Nigeria, with a lot of people saying that someone who has not even spent a month in the office is already being told to seek 12 years in office. And of course, we'll be talking about the Flamingos, the Nigeria female under 17 national team, of course, in that FIFA World Cup in India. And this weekend, Nigerian teams in the continent, they will be playing the second leg of the second tie in their respective fixtures. And the comedy of errors, again from CAF, is that North African referees have been appointed for those matches. So these and many more we'll be looking at on the show today. And in Ghana, of course, there are exclusive report in Ghana that this week, Otto Addo will be releasing his provisional list for the 2025 World Cup. So we'll be doing a whole lot of looking at players who should be in that list. Kayode Ogundare joins us via video. Last week he wasn't around, but today we told you he was going to be on show, and he is right here. Kayode Ogundare, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Femi. Thank you. And thanks to all our fans for asking about me. I was unavoidably absent last week, but now I'm here and reporting for duty.
Okay, you're reporting for duty, not missing in action. James Agberebi, you're welcome.
Thank you, Femi.
I like your shirt.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, the black is one of my favorite colors. So I don't know, maybe because my complexion. So
unfortunately, Arsenal do not even wear black.
Yeah, so no, this isn't. They wear the kind of a touch of black in their jersey. So we align together. All
right, Ghana is sitting pretty at the top of the Premier League, and Thomas Partey, of course, doing well. Kayode, I'll give you as a special welcome back package, so to say. Pinnick told Ibrahim Gusau to seek third time in office, and frankly speaking now, that didn't go well with a lot of people, because he actually said he had wanted to seek third time in office, and he gave reference to Danny Jordan. Remember Danny Jordan in South Africa, that Danny Jordan is 70 years and is serving his third time as a SAFA president. So he advised Gusau to seek third time in office, and that somehow played credence to, remember the report you gave to us the other day on the show, that there were allegations that Pinnick actually installed Gusau. Kayode, what say you on this?
Nothing surprises me from that man, Femi. You know me, it's just like he's trying to set me up when you talk about this man, because you get me started. You know I don't like talking about him. He's with all due respect to the office he held as president of the Nigerian Football Federation, he's not a character I even want to discuss at all, Femi. He's one of the basest you can ever hope to come across. But it is the Nigerian system that throws up characters like this. We know that in Gusau's term is actually Pinnick's third term in disguise. Yeah, that's a fact. We know it is Pinnick's third term in disguise. If Gusau is going to succeed, it will depend on how much he's able to rescue himself from the clutches of Pinnick. Although I don't see that happening. That's me being very, very frank with you, Femi. I don't see that happening. Although we've seen where godfathers and godsons have had cause to quarrel in Nigerian politics, I hope for the sake of Nigerian football that that's going to happen, because we need to separate this cancer from our football as quickly as possible. As soon as possible, we should be able to say, we should endeavor to separate Pinnick from our football and say, never again shall we have somebody like this. So for me, until we are able to do that, we still have Pinnick in office, serving his third term through Gusau. That's what I think.
James, do you agree with kind of this last submission? Do you agree?
Yeah, it's possible, because it's like he's using every opportunity to be part of. You want to be part of this new dispensation in whichever way he can. Saying such a statement like should seek third term, and I don't know. I mean, you are true with your dispensation. I mean, just go and face, is it the FIFA or whatever he's going through now. You just concentrate on
FIFA and CAF.
Man, so you should go and focus on whatever duty that he's handling now and leave Gusso. If Gusso is going to help change our football, then let's wait and see. That's why I don't know why he's still trying to tie himself to this new dispensation. So remember what we discussed the last two editions, where we were talking about him being Gusso being installed by Pinnick.
Yeah.
So I mean all those hints, and so it goes to show that Pinnick in a way still has a say in the running of the NFF in a way that it's been disguised. You think it's Gusso that is running the show, but that there's somebody behind, him, running the show. So for me, I mean, it goes to show that our football we have a long way to go. If we go with this kind of character, you continue to throw up. I mean, we're going to continue to get outbreak, continue to complain and shout, and at the end of the day, we want to still have people like this. I mean, we'll continue to have problems for our football.
Okay, but he made reference to Danny Jordan, and if you look at South African football, he was trying to say that there is a benefit of longevity, because he was saying that in the long run, the politics help Nigerian football. But if you look at even South African football under Danny Jordan, how much improvement can you actually reference?
I don't know why he's trying
Apart
to...
from the fact that, okay, they hosted 2010 World Cup.
Since then, they've not done anything meaningful when it comes to football. Aside from 2010...
They didn't qualify for the 2022 World Cup as well as...
Yeah, the last time they qualified for the World Cup was because they were the hosts. They didn't qualify for the last two editions. Now, 3 editions they did not qualify. The 2013 AFCON they hosted, Nigeria won it. They've not done anything meaningful. So I don't know why he's trying to use Danny Jordan's term as a yardstick to judge. I mean, we are far apart in terms of football, So, he's just trying to still be relevant in Nigerian football. I think it still pains him in a way that he didn't succeed.
With the third time
ambition. So he's trying every means to still be part of this current body, So for me, I don't know. We just have to hope and pray that the new body being run by
Gusso and the new board
succeed. Yeah. I mean, let's just hope that just like what Saki said, that Godfather son.
Yeah. Where there be clashes.
Exactly. I just pray that they're going to be a clash. At least let's just hope that something will just come up and we'll just see changes in our football. Because right now our football is nothing to write home about.
Kayode, this question just came to my mind, and I have you in mind. Where do we go from here? Because literally our football is in shambles. It's nothing to actually look at and smile. Where do we go from here? Super Eagles,
For me, despite everything I said in my preceding statement, I think we still have to give Gusso the benefit of the doubt. Let us give him a long rope to either sink or swim. We know that whatever he says or does will be the voice of Esau and the whatever you call it in the Bible. For me, I think we should just give this man, he has a 4-year term. Let's give him a year and see what happens before we totally condemn him. If he's going to bet, I can assure you, Femi, I'm not a prophet, but if he's going to walk in the path of Amaju Pinnick, he's sure to fail. That I can assure you. He's sure to fail if he's going to walk in the path of Amaju Pinnick. I would wish he would be his own man for the sake of Nigerian football, because like I said, nobody wants him to fail, because his failure is Nigeria's failure. So we all these discussions and arguments and everything that we're having is in a bid to help him to succeed. So nobody is praying for him to fail. But if he wants to walk in the path of Amaju Pinnick, it is a sure banker to failure. So I will be willing to give him a year. Let's see what happens in the next 12 months, Femi. At the end of that 12 months, we will know whether we're on the boat to nowhere or whether there's hope at the end of the tunnel. That's what I'm willing to do.
Okay, but I think the bottom line is Pinnick should allow Gusso to just breathe.
Give him a free
Give
hand.
him time to breathe. Yeah. James, let's go to continental football now. This weekend it will be a date with destiny for our Nigerian teams because Rivers, we have the hands full against Wydad, we have Plateau against Esperance, and Kwara United against RS Bekane. Of course, the 3 of them, they have maybe Kwara United, they still have 2-goal lead. but the other two, Plateau and
Very slim
Rivers,
margins.
very. To me, I think there is even no lead at all because one goal is just one goal and they're off. But the sad thing, these are issues that I'll be coming to Khalid. I know Khalid is actually furious about it, but why would CAF appoint North African referees for this kind of game? We know in Europe, maybe Real Madrid is a team from Spain and Manchester United, the team from England, can be playing, but they have to bring a referee from Portugal because we know the standard of football in that place. You rarely see decisions that are very biased. But here in Africa, we are yet to overcome that. But with that in mind, why would CAF still appoint North African referees for these fixtures?
You know, one thing about when it comes to these are Continental, you can't rule out the issue of politics. If you don't play the politics well, they will just throw whatever they like at you and you don't have anything to but just go ahead and play, and whatever outcome you just have to live with it. It's just unfortunate, you know. I mean, you are playing against a North African team, you expect maybe an official from maybe Central Africa, no, the other one from the west, maybe from east or
maybe
Southern Africa.
Yeah.
I mean, we have very good Southern African
from Zambia
referees,
we have from South Africa.
So you're now using North African referees. I mean, it just goes to show that everything here is like politics, and if you don't play this politics well, how many Nigerian referees do you even see? How many of them do you even see in the Continental games? You don't ever see Nigerian referee. I'd say at worst maybe an assistant referee. That's where it ends. But when it comes to the main game, you even see referees from as low as maybe Djibouti, Lesotho, officiating big game, but you never see Nigerian. So when you don't play the politics right, and I mean, I remember when our clubs used to do well in time past. I mean, sometimes no matter who they bring, because the quality of the team, at least they will still. But you know the way things are run now, I mean, they just give you whatever, and you know our clubs have been very poor on the continent. So it's like they don't even have any say. Whatever they give them, they just take. I mean, so I'm not surprised at this CAF. You know they are anticipating when it comes to things like this. They just throw whatever. And one thing about the North Africans, they always protest. They will protest when it comes to them. They always.
If it's not in their favor.
If not in their favor, you always see that hunger, and they will show it. They don't hide it. They will protest that why are you giving us referee from the same region? They will always prefer, you know, our own side.
And if CAF insist, you will see them harassing the referee.
They will do everything, officials and they will do everything to make sure that decision is turned. You know, so I mean, they've already appointed them, and you know, there's no protest from our own side. So you just go to show that you just have to go ahead with it, whatever outcome. So you just going to take big miracle for our club side to overcome this, because it's going to be, apart from playing against the team, you're going to play against the fans,
of course.
Now the referees too. Yeah. I'm assuring you that I'm not going to surprise if they come back and say we were robbed, bad officiating. I mean, just be expecting that from our representatives.
Kayode, this is not about crying foul. Of course, some people may argue that it is done in Europe, but this is Africa. We have not yet attained that level of maturity. Now, why would CAF appoint a referee from North Africans? Already, Nigerian players from Rivers, Plateau, and Kwara, they're already saying that they prepare their mind to play against their opponent, the fans, and of course the officials. But Kayode, why do we keep going? Remember the issue of zoning that we talked about in Wapu Zone B, when you said North Africans do not go through all this. Kayode.
Let me see, on this I would disagree with you and James. You know why? It may not be the proper thing. The CAF has a tradition that in order to save costs, whether you like it or not, whether it's scientific or not, they want to save costs.
Even when it doesn't favor some teams.
Hold on, Femi. So they make sure that when you are playing, they ensure that they bring a referee from your sub-region. All you guys need to do is check who the referees were for the first leg. The referee in the Plateau United game were from Ghana. The referees in the Rivers United game were from Ivory Coast. The referees in the Kwara United game were from Benin Republic in the first leg. Those are West Africans, Femi. Let's be honest. In this CAF do not have a blame. It is something that has been a tradition with CAF. And you know why I'm saying this? Because I know this as far back as 1998. There was an incident with 3SC when they were playing in the CAF Champions League. So we had this argument, and I checked up, and I found out that this was what CAF has always done. In this case now, all the referees in the first legs were from West African countries, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Benin Republic. Nobody raised an eyebrow. Nobody is complaining. So now that it is the boot is on the other leg.
Because they will always be fair.
Hold on, Femi. I know that things could happen on match day. But the fact that the referees are from North Africa in itself should not mean that there's foul play. Whatever now happens on the match day, we can evaluate the performances of the referees in all the games on the match day. But the fact that they are from North Africa is not an indication that there's foul play. That's what I just want us to understand. That's what CAF does. It is a tradition. Once you are playing at home, they make sure that the referees will come from your region in order to save costs. Because it's cheaper to fly in a referee from Ghana to Nigeria than to fly one in from South Africa. So that's what they do every time. All we just need to do is go back and check all the games we played at home in this competition and in previous years. You will see that this is what has always been the tradition. If you check, you could just do a Google search. All the referees in the first leg were from West African countries. So now in the return leg, they will be from North Africa. It's just fair. But like I said, that does not preclude what happens on the day of the match. There could be some hanky-panky. Yeah, you understand. I'm not debating that. I'm not saying that is not possible. But the fact that they are from that particular region, sub-region, does not in itself means there is foul play. I know I have said something that you will not like, but
no, really, it's the antecedent actually, because I remember 2004 when Tunisia hosted AFCON. Remember?
Yeah.
Against Nigeria, there were some. I remember times that the North Africans have hosted AFCON. There have been issues of one or two decisions that the referees, that a lot of people thought the referees actually allowed to go their way. You know, there have been this incident. So in West Africa, you rarely find such situations with West African referees favoring a West African team. Really, Kayode. But I just think to be balanced, maybe CAF can actually look at it so that.
Theories, I do not buy any of this.
Oh, okay.
Let's wait and see how the games play out on the day. I'm not saying there could not be foul play, but the fact that those people are from those parts does not in itself mean there will be any hanky-panky. There have been. Your fears are valid, Femi. I'm not taking away anything from it. We've seen instances in the past where referees do rubbish. But what I'm just trying to say is that the fact that they are from that area does not mean that they will automatically, that it was because CAF wanted them to have an advantage. No, they did that for us in the first leg too. All West Africans, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Benin Republic. Benin Republic, yeah, our 37th state, so to speak. So for me, it is what it is. It is what it is. Let's just hope let our boys turn up on the day. This idea of we are going to play against the referee is self-defeating, Femi. You do not say all of this before you get into battle, because it's a psychological thing. It has a way of playing on your head. Any call that goes against you, you say, the referee is against us. No, it's not every time that the referee will be against you. You play your game, turn up on the day, Femi. They have shown that even though they came from behind against the North Africans in the first leg at home, it shows that if you can score away at home, you should be able to score away. If you have that mindset, Femi, a good team is a good team anywhere and everywhere. Let our boys turn up. If they play to their abilities and the referees were not against them, that's another topic for discussion. We're going to talk about that. But before then, Femi, do not let us get caught up in this sentiment. That's me. That's my own thinking.
So Kayode said Benin Republic is Nigeria's 37th state. So if there is a lawsuit from the government of Benin Republic, of course we'll send it to the right quarters. So of course that is settled on this show. Let's quickly go on this very briefly. We'll be back to talk about Ghana. Of course, like we told you earlier, that there are exclusive reports in Ghana that Otto Addo will be required to submit his provisional list for the 2025 World Cup this week. And of course, people have been reacting in Ghana about what they think Otto Addo should do and some players that should be in that list. Please stay with us. We'll be back. Welcome back, and it's still Naija Super Fans Forum. Of course, let's quickly make this announcement. We'll be telling you about a big announcement coming your way regarding 2025 World Cup. Of course, our official countdown, 1 month countdown to the tournament will be getting underway next week, Thursday. That will be exactly 1 month to the tournament in Qatar. So, fans from Ghana, of course, right here, you will get the exclusive news regarding preparation of the Black Stars for this time. And of course, also the focus will be on all the other 4 representatives of the continent that will be in Qatar. So we will be wishing all, officially, we will be beginning to wish our representative all the best at the World Cup. Now, let's get started. We told you that Otto Addo will be meant to submit his provisional list for the World Cup this week. And of course, according to a report from Ghana, 70% of the players currently on international duty with Ghana squad who met Nicaragua and first in Spain, and of course against Brazil, will be dominating that list. And they said the remaining 30% will be tight decisions. Tight decisions. I'll start with James. James, 70% of the players will be those who played against Nicaragua. I think I already have the list on my head, in my head rather. Then the 30% will be very tight decisions, James. Now, in your view, the tight decisions, let's say we already know the 70%, but the 30%, what do you think? Do you should be debutants?
It's at this point I don't want to envy.
Though it's a young squad with new faces, of course. Most of them will be Qatar will be their first
World Cup. Apart from Jordan, Andre, those should be the only guys, if I'm not mistaken, that have been to the World Cup. You know, so just like what you said, the friendly games against. I think that was. I don't want to believe. Asamoah is still being considered as one of those, being considered for the 30%.
26 players.
No, I don't think he's in the picture anymore.
FIFA has increased the players from the list of the number of players from 23 to 26.
To 26. So I think the games against Brazil and Nicaragua, I think you have given Addo enough opportunity to see. Most of the guys, especially starting in 11. So I think the other part would just be for maybe those fringe players, guys that just feel like there are some players who will go to the World Cup. That they will not even play any game, but they will just be there to just, fill up the, maybe at some point, luckily they might be called upon, especially when something, unexpected happens, So for me, he knows this. He knows the guys who are going to the World Cup. As it's from the 23, I think you should know like maybe 20, let's say 18 of his confirmed squad. Then the other will just be, guys who will feel maybe young, especially young players, exciting young players who just go to the World Cup, have the feel. Remember in 1994 World Cup, the great Ronaldo went to the World Cup. He didn't play. He was 17 then. He didn't play. It was the likes of Bebeto and Romario, the big guys who are calling the shots. So he just went, Dunga, Rai, all the rest, Mazinho, that was the father of Thiago Alcantara. So, I mean, like I said, he knows from those friendly games, he has an idea of how his team, the players he's taking to the World Cup. But those remaining 30%, like I said, maybe just for young, exciting players. I mean, you can even have an opportunity for maybe players playing in the league.
In the Ghana Premier League.
In the Ghana Premier League.
I was going to say that because we saw them play against Super Eagles Team B.
Yeah,
and they were not
and
bad.
the good thing there again, if you take these guys, it's more money. It's money for the clubs. From I think I read somewhere that
every club,
every
club
players
will be playing at the World Cup will get something.
Get something. I mean, that will even encourage this club side to show that the player, when they do well, that there's an opportunity for you to be at the World Cup to showcase yourself. That if you get to play, So that for me, I think they should just reserve that part for. The league players, the young, at least let them have a feel of the World Cup. They are not going to play, but at least go to the World Cup, have a feel of it. Because at the end of the day, you even still come back to help the team.
Okay. Kayode, of course, what say you? But in my mind, I think I need to put this to you. John Pitzel, he plays very well with Genk. He's a regular goal scorer. He plays very regularly for the club. But Otto Addo seems to continue to overlook him. I think the part of the 30% that, according to a report, that it will be very tight decisions, I think it should be included. What do you think?
Well, you think it should be included. Otto Addo doesn't think so. For me, the honest truth is there are no perfect teams. no matter what, if you select a team of 30 players, 24 players, 26 players, there will still be some people who feel, there should be this person who should have been in the team. This person does not deserve to be in the team. There will never be an unanimous 100% agreement across board. Everybody will not agree with your list. For me, what I want the coach to do is go with his guts. There are some players that are quite good. You and I know one or two players that we think should be in the team. But the coach has a particular way he wants to play in his mind, because all of this is the thing of the mind. So he knows that, okay, this player will fit into this pattern, this player will not, no matter how good we think he is. And I can give you examples all over the world. There was a time a certain Jadel who played for Brazil was scoring like 40 goals in Europe. He never made the Brazil team. He never made the Brazil team. So there are a whole lot of players. There was a time that our own, what's his name now? The guy who played in Brazil, Richard Obubokere, was the highest goal scorer in Europe in 1992, Femi. But you know what? As at the same time, Rashidi Yekini was in the second division in Portugal. Richard was in the first division in Portugal. But Rashidi was the preferred striker. Obubokere did not make the World Cup team in 1994. He was a good player. He was on top of his game. But because he didn't fit into the pattern of the coach, the only game that both of them played together was against South Africa in Lagos in 1992, October, if I recall very well. There were 4 goals in the game. Obubokere scored the first goal. Sia scored. But it wasn't until Obubokere was replaced that Yekini had the freedom to play, and he scored 2 goals. It ended 4-0. So for me, there are some player combination that will not work. On paper, it will look fine. But for the coach, he knows it's not going to work. So for me, I will allow the coach, like I always tell you, Femi, the coach is being paid to do these selections. Let us go with whatever he selects. Pencil may be a very good player. I'm not doubting if he's not a good player, I will not be playing at the highest level in Belgium. But if he doesn't fit into the overall game plan of the coach, then so be it. We have given the coach a job to do. Let him do it.
Okay, Kade, let's see. FIFA has said that clubs are obliged to release players latest November 14th. But I felt that is rather too late. It's just that is 6 days to the tournament proper. I think that's rather too late.
Yeah, Femi, this is a World Cup like no other. Number one, this is the first time the World Cup is being held in November. This is a World Cup that has been forced on us by COVID. This is a World Cup, not only COVID, and the choice of country. The choice of country of host. So for me, I think we should be looking at all these unorthodox happenings that nobody thought this was going to happen in our lifetime, that we're going to play a World Cup in November, 1. Then 2, because of this is the World Cup, the European season, which is the benchmark for everybody in the whole world, just started in August. So barely 2 months later, everybody is going to the World Cup. So FIFA is just trying to make allowances. That's why it's giving everybody. Normally, it's supposed to be like 14 days to the kickoff. But because of the nature of everything now, that's why FIFA is allowing everybody to wait until the last possible moment before you are expected to turn in your final team list. So for me, it's because of what has happened. We should just flow with the tide, for me. That's what I think.
Thank you, Kyle. Please stay with us. James, yeah. I think we should not deceive ourselves that there won't be a lot of injuries. I think a lot of players will miss this tournament. Of course, the Liverpool forward will be out of the World Cup already because of the tight schedule. They played the league.
I think Messi is down. Angel Di Maria, Paulo Dybala, they picked up knocks.
So a lot of players might be even fit for the World Cup, but they have to go because of who they have for the national team. We won't deceive ourselves that a lot of players might maybe even be ruled out for the World Cup. So, do you see a World Cup that we may not really enjoy at the end of the day?
Well, let's wait and see, because even this World Cup has been receiving knocks from even some legends of the game.
You play Premier League, for instance. You play Champions League in between. Maybe you play some League Cup games.
Yes.
Then you go and play international friendly.
Yeah, then the World Cup, and just like what the guy just said, this is a special World Cup. The World Cup that never, like no other before, So we just have to. The dates have been fixed, the draws have been made, so we just have to go ahead with it. It's just so sad that the players will be the one to bear the brunt, of injuries and all those. I don't know. Well, let's wait and see. I just hope that we enjoy this World Cup because, you know, World Cup comes once every 4 years and it's one of it. And I just hope that we enjoy it the way we used to enjoy previous editions and everything goes well. You know, we've been hearing about rules and regulations, you know, laws in Qatar, what the do's and don'ts. And, you know, this is already, you know, pissing people off already, you know. So, like I said, let's just pray that everything goes well and we have a wonderful tournament, as we always do.
Okay, so the good news is that even the GFA Vice President, Otto Addo, has assured that the Black Stars present a very strong team for Qatar 2020, and he said the Black Stars is structuring in terms of the way they want to play and all the players coming in. I'm very confident that we will present a very strong team. You can see from the talent that we have a strong talent pool. I'm sure we will do well. And of course, the good news is that Baba Rahman is back in training for Ghana, so he's back in training at his club. So at least Otto Addo will, at least there's something to cheer him, at least because the Nicaragua game, of course, I'm sure he must have slapped himself in the head about that one. Okay, let's talk about Naki Williams. Naki Williams has been talking and he's been saying that he's very confident that Ghana will do well at the World Cup. Remember, this is his first major tournament for the Black Stars. But Kayode, let's look at Naki Williams. His first major tournament, but he's saying that the friendlies are just a way to test the players to see, you know, for the coach to begin to look at what he actually wanted in the players. But he said he's confident that Ghana will have a very good outing. Do you also share that sentiment?
Yeah, Femi, you know what I'm most happy about is the fact that the warm-up friendlies have tempered our expectations. So it allows the team breathing space to actually prepare. Because I would have been afraid if they had been winning games against Brazil, against Nicaragua, with cricket score against Nicaragua, done relatively well against Brazil. Now everybody's expectation is tempered. Now we will allow them to prepare well. Then the players know that they have a challenge. Now they have to win back the confidence of the Ghanaian people, of the African people, because there's an African team. All of us, we are rooting for the 5 African teams. So none of them want to disappoint. So now that we have this situation on our hands, I will agree with Inaki Williams that Ghana will do well, but they have to actually go out and play. They have to turn up each match day, and it starts with a positive mindset. For me, this is the right way to think. If you're afraid that you might not do well, then you might as well stay at home. You shouldn't be in the World Cup if you think you're not going to do well. So the first thing is to overcome your fear, the fear of failure. Once you have overcome the fear of failure, you now tell yourself, you know what, we are going to the World Cup to do well, and you actually go out and play your heart. You leave everything on the pitch. Each game, Ghana, the Senegal, Tunisia, all the Cameroon, all the 4 and Senegal, they are going to play 3 World Cup finals each in the first round. So each of those games, there is none that is something to trifle with. You have to show that in each of those games, you want to leave everything on the pitch. You want to shed sweat and blood. So if they are able to do that, then there's nothing that stops them and Senegal and the other African teams from not doing well. The gap between the Africans and the rest of the world is so strong and firm that there's little to pick nowadays. So it's there. If you want it, you can get it.
All right, Kayode. James, we can't go without talking about this because, of course, the producer is already giving us signal to move out of the studio. Let's talk about, of course, Heart of Oak. They'll be playing the return leg of their CAF Confederations Cup this weekend against Real Bamako. Of course, they were whitewashed 3-0 last week, and they are still without a coach. So there have been reports that a particular Seb, is already in Ghana to take over that job. And Dr. Prosper Ogun, of course, the coach that won the league for Ashanti last week, has ruled himself out of that job completely. But let's look at it. Do you think Heart can get something from that game? 3-0?
Maybe it's going to be very difficult. If the first leg had ended maybe 2-1, 1-0,
or even 2-0.
2-0, you might even have a shout, but 3-0.
They need 4 goals.
They need 4 goals. You have to first clean the deficit before you now think of going ahead to win. And the way Hearts have been struggling this season, I mean, it just throws doubt that you think you don't have that belief that they're going to do anything in this game, because they've not won any game this season. I mean, there's been one disappointing result or another. The game against Ashanti, they were so lucky that they even got a draw in that game, and going away to lose, and now they don't even have a coach. They're thinking of bringing in a Seb who will just come in and bring his own method, and I mean, like starting all over again, the clean slate, So, I mean, it's going to take a miracle for them now to overcome the first leg. And I mean, the Malian team, they know what they have, and I don't think they will be in Ghana. They will go to Ghana and just throw away the lead like that. I mean,
even they'll defend for 90 minutes.
They are ready, and even though they can even go ahead and even nick a goal, and that's it, because even at they hardly score. They don't score goals. They only manage to eke out result now, and it just goes to show that they are a team that's really in crisis. And even the new coach they are thinking of bringing, I don't know how good he is, the kind of magic he's going to perform. He
will have his hands full.
Yeah, he's going to have his hands full. He's going to come up with new method, new ideas, new tactics, and before the players will now gelling and everything. I mean, he's not the top game like that. We don't know whether the man has even coached in Africa before. We don't know his record.
Yeah.
So all those, so many things to look at. So for me, all the best to them, and I just hope that if they will be able to pull this through, I mean, maybe it's going to be the kick they need for to get their campaign back on track, because they are really struggling now.
Yeah, it would be sad if the two representatives from Ghana are totally knocked out of the CAF competitions this weekend. It's still sad that the Ghana Premier League is yet to be underway, because of the lawsuit that was brought in by Ashanti Gold. So we're still looking at that until when that legal issue is taken out of the way. Of course, James, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Femi. Always a pleasure.
And Kayode, thank you very much for joining us today via video. And don't forget that we told you that our countdown for the 2025 World Cup will be kicking off next Thursday. So it's going to be a day listing, so that will bring you the exclusivity as regarding the Black Stars and all the 5 representatives that will be going to the World Cup. Things you never knew before about the Black Stars and each of the other representatives from Africa that will be playing at the World Cup. We will be giving you the exclusive as far as their preparation for the World Cup is concerned. This is where we'll be drawing the curtain on this episode of Naija Superfans Forum. Thank you for always being there. Thank you for your comments, for your criticism, for your words of encouragement. It really meant the whole world to us. Please don't forget, indicate where you are reaching us from, but get your fingers crossed concerning our countdown, because it will be mind-blowing. Until we come your way next time, I remain Oluwafemi Ashaolu. We say have a fantastic day. Bye for now.